And might I say, I like what I see when I see him. My dog balling, man. He is balling. But
You know how I feel.
you know how I've been. I'm with you, baby. Let's ride. Let's talk about it, man. You want to start there, or you want to start with these supers? You tell me, man.
I don't care. I just feel like Jaylen Warren's
it's gonna
RB1,
come up.
with all due respect.
Thank you for the with all due respect. Don't just say it.
I hate to say it. It actually pains me to say it because
Why?
I do really like Najee.
So, are feelings more important than production?
Well, that's why I said with all due respect.
Well, that's all that matters. You ain't got to apologize twice, man. The with all due respect was, I'm putting it out there with as much respect as I can, but at the end of the day, this is a business, and we are in the business of winning. Everybody goes through this. You play this game long enough, man, you go through that.
I think the offense is just flat out better when Jaylen Warren is on the field.
It doesn't matter what we've talked about, right? Protection, scheme, calls. It's the exact same calls at times with both of them dudes in there, but one makes something out of nothing. The exact same pass plays with the same defenders around. I saw Marcus Peters multiple times get Najee or negatively affect Najee with the ball in his hands. I saw him try to do the same thing to Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren scoops out of that, ends up picking up 6 yards. You like, bro, how the heck? It's the same play, though. One just moves a little different. Not saying that you don't use both still, because you still do use both because they work really well in tandem, but it is a clear difference right now. Granted, it's still early, but there is a clear difference when one has the ball in his hands, whether it's a run play, pass play. Heck, we thought protection would be the difference. We clearly seeing that that's not even the case anymore because 30 was firing on folks last night, man. Shout out to 30, though.
Yeah,
man.
I just think the offense is less predictable, too. You know how I pulled up that stat last week where when we're in shotgun, we pass it 90% of the times.
That's
and
not the case
when
with 30
we're
out there.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way.
But
I swear whenever Najee's out there, we probably run it 80% of the time.
Yeah, because
Jaylen Warren, you don't know what we're going to do.
Well, because with Najee, we already talked about, you don't have the same type of production from him in the pass game. So if he's out there, remember we talked about this when we said we were going to go 2 back sets and it's Jaylen and Najee. He's like, man, we ain't playing it like that because we know for a fact Najee can only do the one thing, and the one thing that he does do well, it doesn't scare defenders, which is, in terms of running guys over the way that he does. So even though it'd be the same call, it's the same dive play, it's the same double play, it's the same, let me leak Warren out the back, or let me fast release him to the flat and let me get it to him early. It's the same concepts, but it just fits Jaylen better. But when you look at their body types, it's no surprise. To me, I look at it like if this is Vince Williams, this is Ryan Shazier, right? Vince is Najee in this case. We know what Vince can do. He's going to run you over. He's the blitzer. He's going to get downhill. But if you put Vince and say, Vince, go be this coverage linebacker real quick, he is going to struggle. It's going to put him like a fish out of water. When I look at Najee, he's trying to run some of them same plays. It's like, man, between O-line, the way that they block right now, it's not really conducive to your style because you need guys that can really win the grass. Right now, we're hoping best case scenario is a stalemate. And man, you take care of the rest. Jaylen Warren has shown that he could take care of the rest. For Najee, he's struggling with that right now.
But even with Warren being in there, I feel like, and I think I saw it a couple times last night, where we can have a 4 wide set, something in shotgun, and then we do an inside zone, and then we do a draw, which keeps the defense more off balance, which helps the offensive line.
And you know what else that doesn't always
I don't
get
think you
shown
can
all
really
the
do
time?
that with Najee.
Guess what else takes place, though? Out them same formations, they come right back and then align Jaylen Warren outside an empty formation.
Right.
And it has legs because they can actually throw it to him and he can make something happen. Whereas when Najee's out there, as a defender, you're like, bro, he's running a stop route or he's about to motion back to the backfield. Period. I'm not worried about nothing else that he's about to give me route-wise. Jaylen just is different with, how he runs it. But like I said, you still need both. But Jaylen, to me, definitely needs to continue to get the lion's share of the reps. I felt like in the second half, we did start to see more of Jaylen, and we could feel the flow of it as well. So I do feel like that's going to continue, but I do like Najee's body blows. But for me, it's like, man, just run them type of plays exclusively when he's out there. Granted, it might be predictable, but that's where he's his most effective self, and I think that's where we can get the most out of him right now. Because
maybe he becomes our red zone back.
That could work too. I always feel some type of way about red zone backs. Not an issue and a negative, more so like, bro, I'm going to do all this work getting this ball down here, and now you're going to hand it to you because we're in the red zone. You get all them touchdowns, I'll be pissed off. That's just as me. But I do agree though that definitely could work.
A couple people in the chat. Actually, here's Lonnie. He says Najee plays better mid-season. I mean, that's a good point, and why you say we can keep Najee around. You could use him still, and we got to see that last year. Yeah. After week 10, like Najee did start cooking when that cold weather hit. So if Najee can stay healthy and maybe we keep his workload down this first half of the season, and then we see what happens second half. If he could start, really impacting the game that way.
All I'm gonna say is this: on paper, and in these settings, we're gonna keep your workload down until later in the year. Sounds good. That's going to continue to go out the window if Jaylen Warren keeps playing the way that he is playing.
And if the offense is just more explosive and Kenny's cooking.
Which right now, when 30 is out there,
getting better. Yeah.
Right now, when 30's been out there, that's been the case.
I'm with you on that.
The further we keep pushing the Najee thing down, it's like, that's cool, but Jaylen is making a strong case right now. And this isn't like training camp where you're telling yourself, well, this is training camp. Oh, this is preseason. This ain't the real guys. This don't really count. This just, practice. It's like, no, we're seeing him do this in the same games. It's not like it's a different coordinator for when Najee's out there versus when Jaylen's out there. It's not a different O-line that's out there when neither one of them dudes are out there. All the variables are the same. It's just one can do a lot more with what he's got right now, whereas the other
guy makes the rest of the offense look better.
Absolutely, because it keeps the flow, and like you said, it makes it less predictable, even if it's the same set, same exact call, because 30 is very different in terms of how you have to play him than 22. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. But like I said, I still keep Najee a part of it, and like I said, even if you want it for filling purposes, let him be the guy to get introed. So everybody on paper can say he's RB1. We don't have to change that. Starting that running back, number 22 from Alabama. Like, that can still go on. But when we look at the end and it's like the percentage of plays, just make sure that Warren's is,
We're not there yet, though.
We're not
because Najee had 19 carries.
Jaylen had the catches as well, though.
He did, yeah. So Jaylen had, I think it was between 50 and 60 total yards, but in terms of total touches, then he only have like 7 or 8 carries, and it was 3 catches. Yeah. So, I mean, even right there, that's less than what Najee's getting.
But the impact felt real different, didn't it?
It did.
Okay.
Like, if you look at the stat sheet, Najee has more raw yards. He has worse yards per carry, but I was actually surprised to see it, that Najee had 65 yards.
Yeah.
I really was. I thought Jaylen was going to be close to him rush yards wise, and then obviously he had the catches and whatnot, but I think we just got to get Jaylen more in the ball more.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not a bad problem. This is actually a good situation. It's a good problem to have. You want to at least have somebody that's out there producing. Now, will we have rather it be Najee looking like 30 and 30 looking like 22? Sure. But that's football. That's why we talk about, man, it don't matter how you got here. If you could ball, you could ball. Because 30 is showing that it doesn't matter that he's undrafted and that Najee's a first rounder. 30 is producing right now. Or do you play the game of, because he's the first rounder, we got to stick with this?
No.
And we know what the offense looks like. Because
no.
That's the alternative, and that's what I don't want either. But that's the alternative to it if we don't get 30 more, because we do see a clear difference, regardless of all the feelings, regardless of whatever narrative we want to talk about. If we throw all that out and you just watch it, one looks like this, one looks like that.
It's happened to how many dudes before us?
Okay.
Too?
All right.
Todd Gurley with the Rams.
Okay.
They sat his ass down for the playoff run. Yeah, Zeke
okay.
too.
It happens, bro. It happens, man.
Yeah, it happens. And I think it's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been checking on the Jets' usage of Abanikanda.
It ain't happening, bro.
Yep.
It
ain't
happening.
I'm telling you.
You know what's about to happen?
That's what I want. I want two Jaylen Warrens on this team.
This is about to happen, bro. Abanikanda going to stay and get reps. They're going to move Michael Carter. He was getting into it. Bro, he another one just like that, though. Fast. I can see him go to Pitt.
No, he's not big. He's not like a big frame dude.
He's like Jaylen Warren, but smaller.
No, that's what I mean. He's not as power of a runner as Jaylen Warren.
He's the fast guy, though.
He is fast, but Abanikanda's fast, and he's compact, and he could run over dudes. I want another Jaylen Warren. I think Abanikanda would be that for us.
Okay.
He's a faster Jaylen Warren, in fact.
Okay.
That's what I'd be calling for. You want Carter, though?
I was just seeing because Carter had the altercation.
I don't want him.
Or at least the incident. I'm like,
I don't want him.
Something has to happen for somebody to be like movable. And I haven't heard any negative about Abanikanda. That's why I'm just like, I don't see how that they gonna just move on from him just yet. I just don't know. But at least with Michael Carter, you're like, oh man, well, we drafted this one and you're, from the other, you're a little ahead and we brought in these two. So do we need you? Now you tripping on the coach. We got going on here. All right, go to Pittsburgh, bro. Like that's how I looked at it.
If I had the choice, I want Abanikanda. They're not using them. So we could be the proactive ones here. Yeah. Hey, you're not using this guy? 6th rounder right now. Let's do it.
I ain't tripping on it, man. Trust me, I'm with it. I don't, bro.
It's not happening. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep calling for it.
If it did happen, it would be dope. I just don't. I'm with you. I don't think it will though.
There's no way. It's definitely not happening.
And you can't do that because you still got Najee here, and that's going like
you can keep Najee. I'd trade Najee for Abanikanda. Yeah, I'm standing on that. People are saying Deke, the Najee, hey, blah blah blah. You got to move him. Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's what I think would be best for our offense.
Right, because that's the thing. It's not that Najee's a bad player. It's just this based on the personnel that we have and how they are playing. We don't have a power running style offense right now,
bro. It's time to start letting Kenny cook.
Yeah, we don't have. We getting there. We getting there.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. We getting there. But to me, man, it's just like Naj. It slows it down, man. Slows it down, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, supers then.
Yeah, man. Let's tap in, man. See what the people got for us today.
Oh, overall though, speaking of Abanikanda and the Jets running back situation. That as an example, but also just in general for this 2023 season, RB market doing terrible. Because look, those Jets running backs, they got Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall. They can't do anything. No Aaron Rodgers, can't do anything. Nick Chubb hurt. Barkley, didn't he get hurt?
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs doing nothing with the Raiders.
Yeah. I think that might have been his best performance all season. We had 50 yards.
I mean, and it was all garbage time. The only reason he was getting them was because we were playing that soft defense late.
Bro. I'm just like, that's your best performance of the season. Like,
tough. It's tough.
It's not a good look right now, man. It's not a good look. Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the leaders in, the sports betting world. Safe, secure, reliable, all that awesome stuff. And on top of that, we got promo codes. When it's your first time rocking with DraftKings, you're going to need to download the app and you're going to need to make that first deposit bonus, right? That first deposit. But whenever you do said thing, make sure it's at least $5. But more importantly, make sure you use the promo code MOATS so that way you can receive up to $200 in free bets. It's a dope concept, okay? Don't want to miss out on that. But we also understand, Deke, that people struggle with this thing called gambling, this thing called sports betting. Sometimes you can have a little bit too much fun. You get lost in the sauce. And when you get lost in the sauce, sometimes you need, some help. Sometimes you or someone has a gambling problem. They might got some crisis counseling or maybe even be in need of referral services. Those located in New York have a specific number to text. But for everybody else, that number to call is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER.